Welcome, my friends, to the remake of my Stanley Parable playthrough. Let's get straight to it. The end is never, the end is never, the end is loading. End. In the end. So, I got myself a, well, yeah, I got myself a new mic. It's the Snowball Ice that Blue made. Blue is a microphone company, if you didn't know. It's a...
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so, yeah, like I was saying, I got a new mic because my headset mic stopped working for some unapparent reason. So, yeah, well, I bought one piece of equipment, and now I have to buy another because my desk is glass, and for the mouse lovers out there, you all know that you can't use a mouse on a glass desk, as long as you mouse lovers have a glass desk. I don't know why I'm calling you mouse lovers. Yeah, but, I need to buy myself a mouse pad. I'm currently using a notepad, but it's close enough for now and it will work, so let's go. So,
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Actually,
no matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
No, I can't find them, but I'm not going here, I'm going up here. Thank you, and good day. So, as some people know, I played this series at about the start of my channel, when I finally got my recording program, my screen recorder, Playclaw, and I played this without a microphone because I was using a desktop and my desktop didn't have a microphone, and I didn't have a headset yet that had a microphone, so yeah, let's go through the window.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
No.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Since I remember no too well, I'm going to say yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Yeah.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
I can't take it
And if
anymore.
you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Wow.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Well, the rest of this song plays. I have to go let my dog in. So by now I assume that this is just going to continue and he's not going to sing anymore. Maybe? Yeah, it's just a loop. Okay. Hope the mic's working well. It's the first time using it for an actual video, so we'll see.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, I do.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm tempted to open this door with a cheat, but I'll play the actual proper way so that you guys can see this ending. And no, I'm not going to obey immediately, because I don't want to right now. I'll do obey next time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Nah, I can't do it. It's too broom.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping in.
Yeah, there we go. Also, employee bathroom. Oh, I won't open. Fine, I'll cheat it open. There we go. extreme bathrooms. Okay, back on track. The other ending. That's a fun ending. Ah, it's quiet. Hey! I need to go through there, you know. Cheat, the door's open. Press that to get the... so that I get another ending. And here we go. Now this door is open. I was going to press 5 on it so I could open it, but I'd rather just play it the proper way. Okay. You are now leaving. Good. It's so dark in here, I can't see anything. Like in this Stanley Parable room, not in my house. I only, like, just realized recently that that is the, is your office. Even though I climbed out of this window, but strange. Wait. That means the door's there. On that wall with the clock. I pointed at it as if you could see my finger. Strange. What is this door? It's nothing. Wait, stop. That fern. Look at it. It's very important, Stanley. Okay, pod launch bay. Mercaplear. 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 I don't know what I'm talking about. Mercaplear. As in Markiplier. You should probably know that. Bleh. It was probably loud, I'm sorry. Strange, very strange.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand.
Yes, I did.
It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Doing another ending now, if you can't tell.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What a strange. I only noticed this now. It goes 18, 19. I might be wrong, but it goes 21, 22, 24, I mean 23, 24. Maybe it's in there somewhere, or it's, I don't know, I don't care. Oh, there it is. It's a door instead. 417, 416, 415. Is there 3 somewhere? 483.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure. 413, 412, 411, Oh yeah, I know I said I was going to do the obey now, but I'm going to do one last thing.
Yet there was
before
not
I
a
do
single
that.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find. Coming to a staircase,
Stop interrupting
Stanley
me.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Interrupting me. You're being annoying. I'm trying to talk to the few people that watch my channel. Oh, it worked. It's only ever worked when using the cheat to get in here. Stanley? Just whispering. Oh, you're getting bored? That's what Mr. Narrator said. You know what? I'll listen to the rest of this later. You guys are probably bored. You guys probably can't even hear the narrators talking slightly. You need good headphones on. I'm gonna close the door. There's people here right now, as usual. But there we go. 429.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
I wish I could redo the achievements. Because that would be fun. If you know how to redo the achievement,
When
post in the
Stanley
comments.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Because I only now realize that actually people that I don't know watch my channel after posting several strange videos that people comment on. But hopefully they see this and maybe know how Steam works better than I do. I know some people do because I know somebody who's making a Vive game. So yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Actually, I'm gonna go back because I did the wrong thing. That was weird. I know for a fact you're not supposed to back travel in this game because it tends to break things like that. Can't you go through there sometimes? 429. 427.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
no.
What if he had to make a decision? What if, no matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace?
Wait, begin the game again. Let me see. Let me see this. Let me see what's going on here.
all of his co-workers were gone.
There
What
it
could it
is.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he
one's
couldn't find...
Yeah, go away, narrator. Nobody likes you. Well, we all truly love you, but you get annoying after a while. Oh my god, I'm in heaven. It's all buttons. To do here. Now I'm going to actually do the obey ending. There is no disobey ending that I can remember.
The meeting room?
Oh, wait.
Yes, that's where everyone would be.
No.
Stanley just needed to get to the meeting
Not
room,
really.
and from then on, he would never be
Pretty much all
alone
branched
ever
off
again.
into the disobey ending. As long as you
When Stanley
don't
came
do
to a
what he
set of
tells
2
you,
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
pretty much disobey.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he'd coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
Dang it.
Stanley was in
Yeah,
such a
I did.
rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Listen to this
That
music while I
kind of
go close the
anxiety
blinds.
isn't healthy, so he
There's too much
relaxed for a few
glare.
moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay, I'm back.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Dude. Can I bring...
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm being quiet. I just...
Now the
video for a
monitors
while.
jumped to life, their true nature
I'm used to being
revealed.
quiet while
Each
playing
bore the
games.
number of an
Just
employee
listening
in
to
the
the
building,
sounds.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives
I'm
of
not a
so many
professional YouTube
individuals
person,
reduced to
so,
images on a screen,
you know.
and Stanley, one of them,
Whoa,
eternally
red carpet.
monitored
I
in
wanna-
this
I wanna be
place
in that
where
place. That place is
freedom
cool. It
meant
has a red
nothing.
carpet. I don't like the red carpet. It's not as good. The blue carpet's cool, you know. I ain't got nothing wrong with the blue carpet, but the red carpet's got going on. So Wait, four. Dang it, I missed it. Can I just find it by looking, maybe? 47 is there. There I am. My dark room for some reason.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
No.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring
actually,
job?
yes,
that his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I don't do anything that the narrator tells me to do.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Yes.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
We'll save on for another video. Okay, so we'll let this finish and then I'll stop the video. So, yeah. Hope you guys like it.
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
And I'll just let you guys watch
Was it
this
over?
final cutscene. See you guys in the next video.
Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
You know, I said I was gonna let you guys finish that cutscene and then I'd stop the video, but just quickly, I've never understood how this place worked, because I clicked the button and appeared here. I just teleported. Stanley Parable has some weird knowledge or physics to it, and science. I don't know, script. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. It's the first time I've ever said that. Subscribe, comment, do whatever you would like. And I will see you guys in the next video.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.